Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's Wait T Lightheart with my business partner of 20 years, Matt Gallant. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing great, man. It's actually our 20-year anniversary, which is hard to believe. Time definitely flies when you're having fun.
I know I'm like, well, we're kind of going back. I was thinking about this, I posted on social media kind of our first book, the Freaky Big Naturally. For those who don't know, that was the beginning of our journey together. And then now, 20 years later, we've got the Ultimate Nutrition Bible.
Hmm.
And hopefully that paves the direction for the next 20 years.
Yeah. And we're super excited about tonight's webinar because we've been working on this new release for many years. So, Wade, take it away.
All right. So today we're going to talk about the secret holy grail for a healthy body, how to harness its power for superior nutrient absorption, faster recovery, and rock star energy. I'm Wade T. Lightheart, co-founder of Bioptimizers, certified sports nutritionist, a professional bodybuilding champion, competed at the worlds a few times. And then I've got my business partner, Matt Gallant, CEO and
Yeah.
co-founder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
go
got a
ahead.
degree in kinesiology and I've worked with multiple pro athletes, and Wade and I are just two health nuts that are excited to share good stuff with you. So,
And the secret that we're going to say to share today is probably the one that is most unknown, even by the best experts in the world. And that's why this is so important. So today you're going to discover a few things that could transform your life. It did for us 20 years ago and will still work today, maybe even better than ever, given the way the world is. We're going to talk about the 5 signs you are dangerously low on a critical molecule for complete nutrient absorption. And nutrition is all about food, right? Wrong. Learn about the nutrition blind spot that takes you beyond the food you put in your body and how to increase the value of your protein by 1,200% for faster recovery, more energy, and bigger muscle gains. Plus, we're going to talk about 3 breakthroughs that have led to the most potent digestive formula ever and a whole lot more. So let's talk about the nasty truth about nutrition. Probably done this, Have you Googled what foods are bad for you or been given a list of good foods versus bad foods? This is one of the nutritional blind spots. Yep, food choice is important, but it misses a critical factor. Food cannot be absorbed unless it's broken down. And eating organic food isn't good enough anymore. Why? Well, it may surprise you. Organic produce is not pesticide free. In fact, the USDA allows for 50 different chemicals on organically grown food. Yes, that's true, folks. Go Google that. And pesticides, particularly, destroy a critical molecule you need for nutrient absorption, energy, recovery, and more. Without this critical molecule, your nutrition is dangerously incomplete. You know, picture this. Imagine you're building your dream home. You labor over picking all the raw materials and finishings that you want, the cement, the marble, wood, backsplash, you name it, everything you can imagine. And finally, you bring all the materials to the lot, but go away, come back 2 weeks later. And when you return, what happened? Nothing. Nothing's happened. All your materials are just sitting there, bleaching under the sun, getting destroyed under the rain, collecting dust, whatever it happens to be. Why? Well, that's because you have no workers. You see, your body works the same way. And this molecule is the hardest worker in your body. We like to call it your bioworkers, and it's responsible for over 25,000 functions in your body. They take all the raw construction materials, that's your food, and create the masterpiece home you've always dreamed of, and that's your body. They transform fats into building blocks for your body. They transform protein into amino acids, and they transform carbs into usable energy. Well, what are these miraculous molecules? Enzymes. You see, Three kinds of enzymes that keep your food from collecting dust in your digestive tract and causing all that unpleasant nastiness that people go through today. They transforms it into valuable nutrition for a healthy body. So number one is proteases. Proteases deconstruct protein into usable amino acids. We don't actually need protein. We need the amino acids of what broken down protein provides. Lipases, they break down fats into fatty acids. And amylases, which convert carbs into glycogen, glycogen being a fuel that your body needs. See, they're helping you right now. Without enzymes, you wouldn't be able to do anything. And with enzymes, you can do everything from thinking to blinking. You can double the speed of your body's repair during injuries. You can eliminate bloating, gas, and other digestive issues. Help you see better results from your fitness programs. And they used to be in our food, but now they are all gone due to modern farming practices and pesticides. And guess what? These critical nutrients decrease with age. So here's 5 signs to let you know you are low on enzymes. Number 1, bigger belly, more belly bloating that has you preferring elastic waistbands over tight jeans. Gas, more flatulence, with our loved ones, they definitely appreciate this. How about stoppage? You're spending 10 plus minutes on the throne to do your number 2, and that's without Facebook. That's a caveat. Slow recovery. Your body doesn't seem to have the building blocks it once did to bounce back after a long workout. You do that great workout and you're like trashed for 2 days, or running on a low battery. Your body has to spend more energy on breaking down food and other functions, so you have zero energy left for you. So I didn't know that much about enzymes. There were a few paragraphs mentioned in virtually every nutrition book that I ever read. But then I met Dr. Michael O'Brien, probably the healthiest, most vital human being I have ever met in my life. This guy was in his late 70s. He was so vibrant and energetic. His eyes could look through you. When he grabbed your hand, it felt like he could break it off. And he gave an all-day seminar without eating a single amount. In fact, Matt went to this, and I went to this seminar back in 2005. He demonstrated that you could be vibrant and energetic even in your 70s. This guy had more energy than any 20-year-old I've seen, let alone a 7-year-old. And his key was taking lots of enzymes, because enzymes equal energy. It felt like the light switch came on in our brains and our bodies. In fact, we spent like $1,500 right away on slamming as much of this as possible to test his theories, and it worked. We returned to childlike energy. And our health and bodies transformed over the next 90 days. In fact, I had gone there because I had digestive illnesses after the Mr. Universe. I gained 42 pounds of fat and water in 11 weeks. I went to the seminar. I realized what the problem. I took all these enzymes that he recommended, and boom, I turned my body around. And for Matt, enzymes would once again transform his health 19 years later. Matt, you want to talk about your shocking recovery?
Yeah. So a few years ago, I was foolishly doing something I shouldn't be doing with the biggest heavy bag I've ever seen in my life. It must have weighed 250 or 300 pounds. And I snapped my Achilles tendon, and I needed reconstructive surgery. Doctors told me it would take 12 weeks before I could walk normally. And of course, I took that as a challenge. So guess what I did? I used a lot of enzymes. And I was able to get the cast off in about 2 weeks and cut the recovery by almost 50%. So it was incredible. And I knew that would work because if you look at the literature, there's a lot of great studies that have been done on using proteolytic enzymes to speed up recovery, including swelling. The average recovery time is about 10 days. With proteases, you can drop that down to 4. Restriction of movement after an injury can cut that down by more than 50%, and just being unfit for training. And this was a study done on karate fighters. Another study that was done in 2007, they had people do a strength training experiment. One group was given proteases, the other group was not. And at the end of the study, the group using the proteases were able to generate more force or more strength with their workouts, with their muscles, because the recovery was better. And again, faster recovery equals more time and opportunity for muscle growth. You can reduce post-workout soreness with enzymes. There's another study done, and again, they found that proteolytic enzymes reduce post-workout soreness. So unless you're a masochist like I am, I actually enjoy soreness. It's a great thing. Now, the problem is with most enzyme formulas, they're weak and they don't work in various pH levels. And that's something we learned from Michael. Dr. Michael O'Brien told us you need really an enzyme blend that'll work because as you ingest food, it starts off in a really acidic environment in your stomach, but then as it moves through intestinal tract, the pH changes, and you want the enzymes to be working the entire way through. And we decided back in 2005 that we were going to go all in and build the best proteolytic enzyme blend that's ever been done. We didn't care what the cost was, and we did it. And it became our best-selling product at that time. It's still our second best-selling formula. Again, high-level athletes, biohackers, people that are obsessed with staying young and feeling young, absolutely love it. And one of the things we do at Bioptimizers is we constantly improve the formulas. So a few years later, we released 2.0. A couple years ago, we released 3.0. However, in 2019, there was a game-changing relationship that was built with the International Birch University, which is in Europe. And this relationship allowed us to do a whole new level of experimentation and research than we could ever do before. So what we did is we ran hundreds of experiments. It says 243 on the slides. It's actually a lot more than that. And we have built and rebuilt from scratch Masszymes 4.0. We're incredibly excited. And, first question is, of course, why is this better? Well, first we started by testing enzymes from around the world, and we tested them one by one. And then we started testing combinations. And I'll talk a little bit about the evolution in the testing that allowed us to build, again, the best enzyme formula on the market. And we got some data to back that up. Now, one of the breakthroughs is vitamin D. We added vitamin D because it is a great cofactor that actually enhanced the effectiveness of the proteases. Second thing we did was we actually found that amylases, which typically breaks down carbs, was a cofactor for proteases. So again, the amylases typically work to break down carbs, but it can actually break down the glycogen in the muscle tissue as well. Breakthrough number 3, and this is really what allowed us to build a completely new next level formula, was a test called InfoGest. If you Google InfoGest, it's considered the gold standard for simulating the digestive process in the lab. And this allows us to truly test the effectiveness of enzyme formulas. Most enzyme tests do something called HUTs, or they measure for HUTs, but this test is way beyond that. And what we did is we tested how effective is Masszymes 3.0, 4.0, and other enzyme blends to break down proteins like casein, gluten, and whey. And then we can calculate the amount of amino acids. And as Wade said earlier, people focus on protein, but what you want is amino acids, and that's what Masszymes will deliver. In fact, when we compared, putting protein through the InfoGest process with Masszymes or without, there was 1,200% more amino acids with Masszymes 4.0. That's an absolute astonishing, game-changing fact. And if you've ever looked at an enzyme bottle, including Masszymes 3.0, 2.0, 1.0, you've seen HUTs. Now, HUT stands for hemoglobin units on tyrosine basis per gram. And I'm not going to read this entire slide because it's a little bit nerdy. But what we're doing now is we're doing tests that are far more comprehensive. The HUTs is a very limited view of how effective the enzymes are. And with the InfoGest process and some other tests that we do, like the Bradford assay, we're able to really see how well the enzymes are going to work in your digestive system. Now, what we did is we used casein. We compared it against Masszymes 3.0, which you can see at the second bar to the right. And then we started actually testing all the best-selling enzyme formulas and you can see what the rate of protein breakdown is. It's not comparable. And the enzymes that are blurred out, if you go to a retail store, those are the best selling enzyme formulas on the market. Then we tested whey, and again, Masszymes 4.0 outperformed 3.0 and absolutely outcompeted all the other enzyme formulas. So this is the label. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's a completely new formula. Again, completely rebuilt, and we're incredibly excited about it. For those of you that care about huts, we do have 322,000 huts per serving, which is 3 capsules. And again, as all of our enzyme formulas are built, it is designed to work at various pH levels. And again, the vitamin D acts as a cofactor. It is gluten-free, it is vegan, and it is soy-free. And I'm going to pass it back on to Wade.
Thanks for that scientific information, Matt. I think it's super cool for us nerdy types. We love it. So anyways, if you're struggling with digestion, low energy, or slow muscle gains recovery, Masszymes 4.0 is for you. When you start taking this stuff, you're going to feel a massive change in your body composition, as Masszymes 4.0 increases your amino acid absorption by 12%. And the older you are, the better it works. My buddy just did this the other day. He's a world-renowned strength coach, was in the NBA. And we put him on his first couple bottles of Masszymes, and he came by about 3 weeks later. And myself and my friends who all know him, he walked in the door and we're like, how much muscle are you carrying now? And he's like, dude, I don't know. It's like, I'm up 5 or 6 pounds. I don't know why. I didn't change anything. I said, well, you've been taking the Masszymes? He's like, yeah, I feel really good on this stuff. You could actually see it in his composition. So never worry again about being bloated, gassy after the occasional overeating or holiday indulgence. I am an overeater. Actually, I have a suboptimal gene for feeling full. So there's left on my own designs, I'll overeat. And thank God I've had Masszymes to deliver a deciding blow so that I don't have any digestive issues, regardless of what I eat. Experience excitement about your day ahead rather than a sluggish indifference. You know, I was in an interview today and I was commenting, it's like, there might be 2 or 3 days in the year where I feel tired. I just don't feel tired. And that's usually because I was up for 2 days or traveling extensively or something like that. You can enhance your post-meal mental clarity and focus. You can experience faster post-workout recovery. This is a huge factor that was allowed me to be successfully competing in bodybuilding contests for the last 20 years. And you're going to see a big improvement in your bowel movements. That's another thing that so many people are like, wow, I didn't know that I didn't know, and now I know, and now I won't be without. So guess what? Good news today. It's 20 years, so you're going to be able to save big on Masszymes 4.0. You're going to experience superhuman benefits by increasing the nutrient value of your food. So if you're eating a good diet, that diet immediately goes to great. You're eating a great diet, or immediately goes to awesome. And if you're eating a suboptimal diet, you bring that into okay. You're going to eliminate the belly bloat and reduce embarrassing gas, gain more muscle alongside your diet and exercise, recover faster from your workouts or injury, regain control of your life, starting with what we call digestive freedom. In other words, you can eat something and not worry about how it's going to impact you. Enjoy peace of mind knowing that your food is finally providing you with nutritious value again. I can't tell you how many people send us testimonials saying what they used to be averse to social situations, you know, holiday experiences, business dinners, family gatherings because of digestive issues and gas or bloating or just not feeling right. And guess what? You can end all that. You're going to rediscover vibrant, childlike energy once again. All you need to do is go to bioptimizers.com/Masszymes-V4. The link is located right here in the chat. You want to grab it and take advantage today. So here's some things that people are saying. Oh, it wasn't just saying things. These are testimonies that come in regularly. I love reading the testimonies. It's fun. We do it every week at Bioptimizers as part of our team building because we love making a difference in people's lives. Here's what Bruce P. has to say. I'm in my 50s and working out, taking supplements since my teen years. This is hands down the best supplement I've ever taken. I say this because after a few times, I could feel a noticeable difference in my digestion and energy. and shortly after could see a difference in my physique. Never had results that effective and that quick from anything else. Bioptimizers.com/masszymes-V4. It's in the chat box if you want to just click on the link rather than type it all out. So here's our guarantee. One of the sayings that Matt and I always love is there's nothing more expensive than a product that doesn't work. You know, you bought something that you thought would do a job and you get back home and it doesn't do a job. That's so frustrating. And that's why we've always been at the top of the food chain when it comes to producing products. We never stop evolving the products. We keep researching and testing and upgrading as science evolves. We have $1 million lab filled with multiple genius PhDs running virtually nonstop experiments to maximize human potential. It's the thing that we love the most. And to make sure you have plenty of time to give our product a fair shot and make your decision, we're going to give you 365 days to decide. Basically, if for any reason, the unlikely event that you don't feel a difference using the resources of this product, right? If you haven't used that, if it's our book, it's our course, everything that we do, we give you a full refund, 100%. That's it. No muss, no fuss, as we like to say. Just contact us, reach us out. We have live agents. We don't have computers taking your phone calls. We don't have artificial intelligence. We have real people that know what they're talking about, solving your challenges, whatever they may be, because we really respect and honor the fact that you would take a chance with us. And we know that that chance will be validated because we really appreciate it. We've been around for 20 years, and there's a reason for that. It's because we only believe in doing what's right by people and producing the best products and providing an opportunity for everyone to try them. So for the last 2 decades, we're going to celebrate by giving you 20% off. So 20 years today, 20% off. It's 1% a year. That's a pretty good deal. At Bioptimizers, your wellness victories are our inspiration. So here's to celebrating our valued partnerhood. We can't operate without you trying our products. And that's why if we produce great products that change your life, we keep doing research so that we can help not just you, but everybody else who wants to take their health in control. So now through January 21st, you can go to bioptimizers.com/shop, and we're going to give you 20% on virtually everything. So you can load up. If you're a regular customer, load up. If you're a new customer, load up. If you know a friend, share the link, let them load up too. So here's a bonus for staying to the end. Really appreciate you taking the time. We know that how you spend your time is really important to us. So here's a couple things. Here's some things that you can, deal with stress. Everybody's talking about stress. I always say stress resilience. That's what's important. Can you handle stress? So here's hack number 1. Improve your workouts, performance, and gains. 30 minutes before your workout, mix 3 capsules of Masszymes 4.0 with your favorite protein and sit through your workout. You'll start recovering immediately in the workout. Hack number 2, transform cheap, tough steaks into tender delights. This is one of Matt's favorites. What he does is he spreads a couple of capsules of Masszymes 4.0 on whatever meat that he's getting ready to put together, and he lets it sit there for 60 to 90 minutes. Now, this softens and tenderizes the meat. Wash it off afterwards, and then cook your steak the way you normally would. It's a game changer. A lot of people are just going crazy over that. If you're into steaks, that's the way to go. Hack number 3, turbo boost your fasting. This is one of the secrets to cutting the time to effect. You don't fast because you want to starve yourself for a long period of time. You fast because you want an effect. And the way to accelerate the benefits and effects of fasting is to take massive amounts of Masszymes. So we suggest taking 10 capsules on an empty stomach at least twice a day. I've done as many as 100 a day, and it just accelerated the results. You choose what's right for you. Just go to bioptimizers.com/Masszymes-V4 for all the discounts. And of course, like always, it's time for you to experience the superhuman version of yourself, right? That's why we kind of tune into these things. We're moving towards We believe it's possible. Aesthetics, performance, and health. We've been optimizing humans since 2004. Technically, Matt and I have been doing this before because we were coaching people before that, but we've been doing this as a unit since 2004. This is our 20-year reunion. So it's your chance to get Bioptimized at a deep discount and embrace the journey. Go from sick to superhuman with 20% off. So here's what people are saying. Arthur G says, I've been taking Masszymes for 5 years. I started taking them when I was transitioning from a vegan to an omnivorous, and I haven't stopped since. I go through periods where I stop taking them because I start feeling good. And then I think like, oh, I don't need it every day. But the moment I stop taking them for, say, a month, I start to feel the relapse in my digestive system, bloating, gas, inflammation, you name it. Just recently, I've been struggling with behavioral health issues, and I started taking Masszymes again. And within 20 days, my anxiety subsided. My fears were more manageable, and I was able to detach myself, whereas usually I'm crippled in fear and depression, and I don't want to do anything. It's bad. Taking Masszymes helped bring back normalcy into my life, and I think I've learned my lesson now. So don't stop taking them. LOL. I will forever be grateful that I found Bioptimizers. You have changed my life so much. I can lead a normal life because of you, and I'm so grateful that I'm in tears writing this. I hope one day to be able to thank Matt and Wade personally. Thank you for all that you do. I just can't say enough. Thank you enough, Arthur G. I mean, these kind of things that this is why Matt and I have been doing this. We fell in love with transforming people's lives as trainers and nutritionists back in the day, and we partnered up to combine our unique abilities and talents to deliver to a broader message to the world. And when I see things like from Arthur here, it just, it makes me feel good. And it also motivates us to do more. So to get all these, you just go to bioptimizers.com/Masszymes-V4. Here's Abby J. I was skeptical of the claims stated on the Bioptimizer program. I have used the products for about a month. I lift my 30-pound dumbbells not 3 times per week for 15 to 30 minutes at a time, as always, not noticing any particular changes. Suddenly, though, I've been blessed with rock-hard abs, matching core, and some improvement in my glutes. I haven't had any explanation for my vastly improved condition, except that your claims are proving true in the face of my disbelief with minimal effort on my part. Thank you, Bioptimizers. And I always say, you know, with everybody saying so much garbage out there, I understand why someone might have a little bit of disbelief. But what we're suggesting is just suspend your disbelief for enough time to give the product a try. And if it doesn't deliver on our promises, you just get your money back. It's really that simple. Bioptimizers.com/Masszymes-V4. It's in the chat. So if you have any particular questions, it's one of Matt and I's favorite times. We'll take them right now. So we just pop them into the chat, Q&A, and we'll be happy to answer them. So ladies, what do we have here from the audience? If we have any questions that people might have in regards to our products or services or anything Bioptimizers.
See one question that came in. I have osteoporosis and taking Garden of Life bone building supplement. Any considerations if I start taking Masszymes? I'm 71, no prescriptions, female. No, I think Masszymes will help you. Again, amino acids are the building blocks of so many things in our bodies, from muscle tissue to organs to peptides. The list goes on, and obviously enzymes or proteolytic enzymes are not going to directly, I would say, help your bones. It will help your overall body function better, which indirectly should enhance your results. Wait, how about you take this one? How does this affect women if we're looking for lean muscle and not bulking up? How many times have we been asked that question, Wade?
If I had a Bitcoin for that, I'd be a Bitcoin billionaire, maybe a trillionaire. First and foremost, in the course of coaching people for about 30 years now, there are 3 women in that entire history, and that's thousands and thousands of people that had a propensity for building more muscle than someone would enjoy. And they had to train hard to do it and do a diet to do that. The reality is that most women are not going to bulk up. If you are initiating in a training program early on, what tends to happen is when you build a little bit of muscle, your weight will go up. You'll be a little bulkier for maybe a few weeks. And then your body starts burning more body fat and you start getting that toned look that people want. It's just a change, a small change between your lean body mass, that's your muscle tissue, and your fat mass. And the only way to maintain a shapely physique and a robust metabolism as you age is through weight training. There really isn't a better way to do it. And the reality is 99.9999% of women will never be able to build enough muscle that someone would say you're too big or you build too much muscle. It's just not going to happen. So you don't have to worry about it. It's a big fear. I've been answering this one for women for, like I said, the better part of 3 decades. Get in a proper training program, do a proper diet, and you're just going to look better, feel better, and operate better. So don't worry about it.
Thanks, Wade. Rebecca Lynn asked, does it help minimize lactic acid buildup after a workout? I have not seen any literature on that, so I wouldn't suspect that it does. It'll help you recover. And as we mentioned, one of the best tips, and there's research that indicates this will actually help you recover from your workout. You take 3 masszymes, you blend it with your favorite protein shake, maybe 30 minutes before your workout, and then you sip that beverage while you're working out. It's an intra-workout shake. People have heard of pre-workout or post-workout, but as you're feeding your body these amino acids, your body's going to absorb them and then put them to work right away.
And
Wait,
one
about
of
you?
the things,
Go ahead,
one of
Wade.
the things I do on endurance training in regards to this, so that's more like a weight training workout on an endurance training. And I just recently discovered it because I started endurance training last year, is to take 10 grams, and you can, and if it's a long run over 60 minutes, I'll take 20 grams of essential amino acids with 5 masszymes. And that really makes a big difference in muscle soreness after. It's dramatic. So depending on the workout that you like, those are the 2 strategies that you can employ with masszymes. It works great.
Wait, but you grab this one from Lynn Delesha. Will I pronounce your name correctly? What's the
Yeah.
recommended dosage per day, Wade? Should you take masszymes with every meal?
I've been taking masszymes with every single meal I've eaten virtually for 20 years. In fact, if I eat a meal for whatever reason I don't have masszymes, I know it. I just feels different. It doesn't feel as good. I always like to use the rule of 3. So on average, for an average size meal, 3 masszymes. If you're having a metabolic spike day, which means you're employing one of the spiking strategies that we employ to boost your metabolism by strategically adding a lot of calories on a single day, once per week. You're having big meals or social occasions, you could do like 5. And if it's something like really small, like an apple or, a little bit of veggies or a small, bit of food, you could take 1 or 2. So you kind of learn the dose that's right per meal. The more protein that you take, the more enzymes, particularly is really effective on. So more masszymes on that will really accelerate the delivery of the amino acids. And some recent research came out that post-workout, you can do like 100 grams of protein and it actually delivers the amino acids, and masszymes will help accelerate that.
Thanks, Wade. Next is Tyler Woods asking a great question that we have researched in the lab, which is, can you elaborate on any drawbacks between taking both masszymes and P3OM at the same time? Will it accelerate the breakdown of protein or cancel each other out? Well, Wade and I always believed that they would synergize and enhance the effects. So, of course, in the lab, we tested that, and they do, because P3OM is one of the few probiotics, one of only 2, and we've tested dozens and dozens of probiotics, pretty much every probiotic you can buy at the supermarket. We've tested them, and there's only 2 that are proteolytic, meaning that they can break down protein into amino acids. And yes, when we combine the 2, there is synergy. So we're huge fans of doing that. All right, Wade, another one for you.
Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I see that you usually buy our products from a third party. Do you ship directly to Australia so I can take advantage of the offer today? And also, are the products effective from long shipping in regards to temperature? I'm glad you asked this question because I'm in charge of international distribution. And trust me, buy the products from the third party. And the reason why I'm going to suggest that is that we've been shipping a lot to Australia, and the recent regulatory agencies in Australia keep amping it up. And so even though our product is available inside of Australia, when we sell it to individuals, for whatever reason, the agencies are blocking the product before coming in on about 50% of the cases. So it's a 50-50 deal, whether you're going to get that or not. We're moving to an Australian distributor. So if you send us, just send us a text and we'll direct you over to the proper individual. I'm actually talking to them tomorrow. As a funny, you should bring that up. So good timing, Tara Davis.
Yeah. Tell them that Tara Davis is coming in.
Yes.
All right. I'll grab the last one. Glenn Kitcart. He's 60 years old, doing body weight HIIT trainings twice a week. First of all, congrats for being, living a fit, healthy lifestyle at 68. That's awesome.
Love it.
Eating lots of protein. What products do you recommend for digestion and muscle building? Well, of course, we recommend Masszymes 4.0. If you truly want to like maximize your digestive capabilities, we recommend what we call the 3-2-1 stack: 3 Masszymes, 2 P3OM, and 1 hydrochloric acid breakthrough, HCl breakthrough. That combination basically will break down anything you can throw at it. Because some people have low hydrochloric acid levels, and even though you give them more enzymes, they still need more HCl. So that's the ultimate. And one other tip, which we probably don't talk enough about, Wade, is taking 2 capsules of blood sugar breakthrough with some carbs about 30 minutes before your workout. And I guarantee you'll notice a next level of pump. You'll notice more vascularity, more energy from your workout, because it'll help you utilize the carbohydrates better. So if you do that combination of 2 capsules of blood sugar breakthrough and sit that intro workout shake, make some protein, 3 Masszymes, throw some fruits in there, you'll definitely notice a new level of performance from your workout. So more questions have come in. Wade, take the next one.
Well, I think this one I'm going to defer to you. Jane King is, she's asking if you have some recommendation for troubled sleeping, and you are the sleep king. She's dealing with sleeping and deep exhaustion. So I know how much effort and you've put into your sleep process. So hit her up with some massive tips from Maddie G.
Yeah. So first of all, it's debatable, but the 3 most important things to be healthy is great sleep, movement, and good nutrition. And when one of those 3 is, let's say, suboptimal, then your health's going to take a massive hit. And sleep, again, when your sleep is not good enough, and when we're talking about sleep quality, then your entire life suffers. So first of all, Masszymes has been shown with a lot of our clients to improve sleep. And for a long time, we didn't understand why that was. Now, if you start tracking your sleep with an Oura Ring, and I've used medical grade devices like the Dream, probably the number one thing that will destroy your sleep quality is having too much food in your intestinal tract or in your stomach. It will absolutely wreck the quality of your sleep. I've seen it over and over again. And if you talk to anybody that's tracked their sleep, they'll report the same thing. So we think that the Masszymes breaks down, maybe some undigested food that's in your intestinal tract or in your stomach, and will help you sleep better. So the Masszymes, it's not a sleep product, but we've seen it over and over again improve sleep. But our top 3 products, we have 3 products that will directly improve your sleep. The best-selling one is Magnesium Breakthrough. I mean, 2 capsules an hour before bed, been transformative for hundreds of thousands of people that have tried that product. The next one is Sleep Breakthrough. That is a product we spent a year developing. Again, take it about an hour before bed, and then you'll definitely notice better sleep. And then we have another product called Dream Optimizer, which a lot of people, that's their favorite one. It's basically a gel pump You pump 3 to 5 pumps into your mouth while you're in bed, and it gives you a microdose of melatonin with some other ingredients. And you will notice definitely a lot more vivid, lucid dreaming. It will improve your REM sleep significantly. So definitely try those 3 products. And just some basic tips are try dimming all the lights in your environment an hour to 2 hours before bed. Ideally, get off your phone about 30 minutes before bed. You want to ramp your brain down. You want to try to slow down your brain waves. So anything you can do to relax before bed will translate to better sleep. And then make sure your bedroom's completely blacked out. I've got 2 layers of blackout curtains to make sure that it's, as dark as possible. And then my last tip is make it cold. In fact, I use a cooling pad called 8 Sleep, which I highly recommend. And especially if you tend to run hot while you're sleeping, the heat will completely disrupt your sleep and cause you to feel tired in the morning. So there you go. Right.
So Marcos Espinoza, by the way, thanks for that incredible description there, Matt. Marcos says he's a 52-year-old male, and lately I've not been recovering from my workouts. My quads and hamstrings are always tight and feel knotty. No amount of stretching or foam rolling has helped. How long is a good trial to see if Masszymes helps improve it? You'll notice a difference in 30 days. I will suggest, though, depending on your workout, you might want to consider seeing an osteopath to see if you have any imbalances in your body that's tightening up. As we get older, we tend to tighten things up. There's also some things called kin stretching, which helps open up the fascia. Or if you're really a bit of a masochist, you can go to a rolfer. Oftentimes we have constrictions in the fascia that is actually creating these knots. And I know about this a bit because we're about the same age, and I've experienced that. And I do a combination of Masszymes and a combination of good fascia therapy, and recently went to an osteopath because when I was running, I started to know I was getting a little bit tighter, and then this osteopath unlocked a piece in my hips, and now I'm running faster than I ever have, and I've had a minimal amount of that tired and knotty feeling. But I know exactly what you're talking about, especially in the hamstrings for me. It's something when I go through the big workouts, again, that preemptive either using, if it's a cardio workout, using the essential amino acids, and then sipping the protein drink, throw in 5 Masszymes with it, mix it up. I'm telling you, this is a game changer for recovery. You'll notice that within the first 30 days, probably in the first couple weeks, actually.
Next, Desiree Staples asks, can breastfeeding or pregnant women take these? And again, we cannot legally answer medical questions. I would consider that a medical question. What I will say is and we have a beautiful baby girl that's going to be 2 years in April. If my wife was pregnant, I would strongly recommend that she uses enzymes while she's pregnant. That's what I'll say. I'll also say that my baby girl's been taking microbiome breakthrough since she's a couple months old, mixing that with her milk. And I'm also giving her a micro amount of magnesium breakthrough. So again, consult with your doctor.
And if you're looking for an expert in this area, is Dr. Nathan Wiley. He's a friend of ours who I met through the Czech Institute, Paul Czech, who's also an advocate of our enzymes. He uses them every day. So does Nathan. And he works particularly with all the nuances that a pregnant or breastfeeding woman can do. He's a medical doctor and just an all-around great guy, and he's well-versed in any potential contraindications of your entire diet. I recommend doing a consultation with him.
Next, how do we get 20% discount? Angelica, I think it's just automatically live on the site, right? Anything you put in your cart is going to be 20% off. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
20% off of everything, not just Masszymes 4.0. That's 20 years of celebration here, dude. Matt, can you believe 20 years?
Yeah, it's legitimately hard to believe. Wait, we had a couple questions come in about Brazil. You're the international man of mystery. So do we ship to Brazil? What's going on with Brazil?
Well, we have shipped to Brazil in the past. The downside is you're going to pay an exorbitant tax because of the Brazilian government is usually 100% tax on anything that is imported. And we do have some Brazilian customers that don't care and pay that, but we're just warning you preemptively. We are looking for a Brazilian distributor. So if you know a Brazilian distributor, send them off to us and we'd be happy to follow up with them because that is a country of big interest for us.
Definitely. And we have what we truly believe is the best customer support in the supplement world. Wade, tell them why that is.
Well, number one, when I was a little boy, this is a fun story. So when I was a little boy, I got a bad chocolate bar once and I was devastated. And my mom taught me, she said, well, if you write the company a letter, so there was no internet and things back then. People go, yeah, before the internet. How old is this guy? Anyways, so I wrote a letter to this company that made the chocolate bar. And, a month or so passed, which was like forever. I forgot about it. And then one day I received the box and a letter from the company. And the letter was from the president. And the letter said, thank you for bringing this information. We're sorry for that experience. And not only have we given you a replacement for that chocolate bar, they gave me 3 other chocolate bars. Well, as a small child that just got 4 chocolate bars after a devastating chocolate bar experience, my life was transformed. And since that time, I've worked on every single aspect of customer service, where that was working in restaurants, working as a greeter and a cook in a lobster shop way back in the day, working in restaurants, bars, owning my own supplement store, being a personal trainer. And one of the things I noticed is what makes a person feel good about themselves. And that is when you're treated with respect, that when your legitimate questions are responded to with someone who knows what they're talking about, someone that can make a difference, someone that doesn't see any question as silly or stupid, that actually understands that that's an important thing for you to understand. So when we crafted the customer service experience at Bioptimizers, I wanted people to feel like they were being treated world class and that we had 4 promises that we wanted to make sure that we delivered. The promise that our product did whatever it says it did. Number 2, that you knew how to take the product. Number 3, that the product was delivered to you in a timely fashion. And number 4, if anything happened within that process, that we could change that and we could feel good about it, and you could feel good with changing a subscription. For example, a lot of people go on subscription for savings, but maybe you went away, you didn't need as much, or you can pause the subscription, or you can take the subscription over a longer period of time. All of those things that we provide for you, the little nuances inside of customer service, because at the end of the day, talking to a real person and being able to express what's going on for you is very helpful for all of us at Bioptimizers, because we get to know how well we're delivering on our promises, on our products, on our services, and how we can improve and how we can get better, or what we might want to look into in the future. So Matt and I have been doing that. It's been part of our recipe for success for 20 years. You can't do everything perfectly when you're running a company, but customer service is there to bridge the gap so that we can always over deliver on what we promise, so that you can feel good. And that's also why we have the 365-day guarantee, because if for any reason something didn't work, we don't want your money. We only want a fair exchange of value. And for that, that allows us to support our team, support our research, and support you and your journey to better health. So that's our whole mission around customer service.
Thanks, Wade. And speaking of, trusting people and sharing value, we value that you gave us your attention for this webinar. There's nothing more valuable than time. And we want to make sure that it was as valuable as possible. And hopefully it was. And we can, again, we do guarantee that if you try Masslimes 4.0, it will be an incredible investment. And if for any weird reason it doesn't work, we've got you covered. So there you go. Thank you so much, Wade. Always a masterful performance. So thank you so much. And we'll see you all soon, hopefully.
You bet. Thanks, everyone. Take care and have an awesome day.